All right, so let's get into this video. This is a young lady named Bianca. I found her video a couple days ago. There are so many young people with HIV. HIV is still around. Right now, there's about 40 million people living with HIV. In the United States, we have 38,000 people that acquire HIV every year. And then the highest amount of HIV is in the South for whatever reason. So Black and Latino men and women carry the highest disease, as typically in any problem, usually the Black and brown communities have it the worst. When I was growing up in the 90s, one of the scariest things in the 90s was HIV, the idea of catching HIV.
About 3.5 weeks of me being so freaking sick. I lose about like 15 pounds during that time. I was working out pretty intensely, so I lost all of my gains. It was actually really, really sad. I did detoxes. I jumped on a call with Queen Afua. I can't even begin to explain to you how petrified I was for my health. And more so that like they weren't diagnosing me with anything. Where was the guy that infected me during this time? At this point, we're already in a relationship. Full-blown relationship. He's telling me that he loves me and all these things, and I'm over here believing it. We were having unprotected intercourse this entire time. As I'm at the hospital, he's like begging me to come over, like, please come over, like, let me take care of you. And I'm just like, no, like, I don't want you to get what I have. Like, I don't want to get you sick. And his words were literally, don't worry, babe, you can't get me sick.
Yo, and that's a big sign right there. Now, as she talks about this, the first thing that stood out is that she says they were only together 5 months. I mean, having a full-fledged relationship in 5 months, I don't know if you're going to be taking off the condom, risking having a baby. Like, you haven't been together that long to even be taking off the condom. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm not saying this to knock her. I'm just saying that a lot of young people, especially women, you got to understand that when you with somebody, you need to take some time to see where that man is coming from, his real intentions as far as being with you. But if you're going to start taking off the condom, now you open yourself up for not only AIDS or HIV, but you open yourself up for all the other STDs.
I go to the clinic, and the day before I go, I have this like gut-wrenching feeling in my stomach, like in my spirit. And I'm like, I know that after I go to the clinic, I'm not going to be the same. My ex, the person that intentionally infected me, he was not monogamous to me. Like, there wasn't actual proof, but I knew for a fact that he wasn't. It's possible that maybe he did give me something, but I had no idea that it was going to be HIV. And so I go, and I've been tested before. I got tested the day before I met him. So I was like, okay, like, they're gonna take my blood, they're gonna do the rapid HIV test, they're gonna tell me that I can go home, and I'm gonna have to await my results, and hopefully everything comes back negative. How about I'm waiting for my HIV rapid test results, and they call my number? Literally, my heart sinks. Immediately, I'm met with a doctor and like a lady who ended up being a social worker. They sat me down, and they're like, we just want to let you know that you've tested positive for HIV.
What's the real lesson? A lot of times people see videos like this and there's no real lesson. The real reality of it is that people don't take AIDS seriously like they used to. Like I said, back in the 90s and 80s, it was something people really thought about. I'm not saying people didn't roll the dice and take chances, but I think now, because people like Magic Johnson have lived so long, and people are just living longer with HIV before it develops into AIDS. I think people don't take it as seriously as they used to, because they have more and more contraceptives. People aren't looking at condoms like they used to. But the reality is that you may stop yourself from having a baby by the pill or any other contraceptive outside of the condom, but the condom is what's going to stop you from getting AIDS.
We need to get this person's information in order to contact him so that he could come in and get tested. I basically refused to give them his information because I felt like I had to protect him, something that a lot of people don't understand unless they've actually been in a relationship with a narcissist. So in my mind, I'm like, no, he would really want me to like protect him and let him come to this decision on his own instead of being bombarded. Even though I knew that he infected me with HIV, at that point, I really didn't think that it was intentional. I thought that he cared about me so much that he would never put me in a situation like that. I go home and they basically tell him the news, and he was not surprised. He was not shocked. He was like, okay. Our biggest arguments were never about, other women that I suspected. It was always me begging him to go to the doctor, me begging him to go get tested.
When you're looking at somebody this age who has their whole life ahead of them, the main thing is you got to look at the guys that you choose to be with. You got to be careful. You got to really take a look and say, who is this person I'm with? And also, it doesn't hurt to wait and say, you know what? Before we start doing it unprotected, let you know, are we planning to get married? What is it that you want to do? Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying it can't happen if you get married. All I'm saying is that you have to see the level of commitment this person wants to put into you, because 5 months is not a long time to see the level of commitment. And obviously it doesn't seem like someone who was trying to like marry you and build a life with you in 5 months. You sound like y'all was just dating. Y'all, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I just wanted to play this video. I thought this was something to really think about for a lot of young women. So, crucial combo.